Hey guys, we are back. It's a couple of days later. Got my drive shaft in, so let's go ahead and put this thing back together. I guess the center diff video is going to have to wait till another day. Okay, I'm going to move my front end here real quick and go ahead and pull your drive shaft out. If you're wondering, part number on this is 7755 for the part number. And it came with another little coupler here, but sometimes it can be a little bit of a pain to get that one out of there, because what happens is if it falls out and it falls into the wrong spot, it's a pain to get out of there. But you can grab it out of there just like that with a pair of needle nose. Just don't drop it, because it can, like I said, you get in a little funky position. So just be sure you keep a firm grip on it and drop it right back down into that center diff output. Work it and you'll feel it slide in. Now it's good to go. So we're going to go ahead and keep that old one for a spare. Alright, so put the drive shaft back in. It's pretty obvious. You just stick it right back in there. Be sure it's engaged, and that's it. So be sure that your little linkage here is up out of the way, and then we're just going to slide it back together. Okay, so let's put this thing back together. So these front deals on the chassis need to go back in here. They slide in between there. So that is what you're looking for, and of course the drive shaft going back into the front diff. So just start your drive shaft in the front diff, and everything else will find its home. There goes that. Now we need to be sure it's engaged. Just give it a little shake and be sure everything is going back where it needs to go. Watch your steering linkage to be sure it doesn't go into the wrong spot. There it is. It's all back together. See how it fit nice and tight right there and everything? So that's where it belongs there. So we're going to go ahead and set it back down. So grab your 6 longest screws that you took out of this thing, and let's start putting them back in. So you have one that goes here, you have one that goes over here, one that goes directly in front of it, and one that goes directly in front of this one. See the holes right there? So here and there, same on the other side. Just go ahead and put those screws back in. Okay. Okay, so we got those in there. Now you're safe to go ahead and move it. It's not gonna come apart on you. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the bottom half buttoned up so we can be done under here. So let's go ahead and put the rear skid plate back on. So grab your rear skid plate. Alright, so if you guys remember, the screws that came out of the skid plates were done. They were bent up, they were ground over, everything else. So I'm going to go ahead and put in some new ones because, yeah, it needs it. Alright. And the front screws are bad too. They're done, so I'm going to replace those as well. 4 new going in. And these are also 2.5. Okay. You go ahead and be sure these are snug, but you don't want to strip these out. Well, you don't want to strip any of them out, but you get my drift. Next is your center skid plate. Grab it, set it back in place. Alright, now let's turn it over. Alright, let's go ahead and put in the 2 remaining screws. They're going to go right next to the antenna box. One goes in that hole right there, and one goes in this hole right there. Those screws look like this here. Next, you have 2 to go here. One here, and they look like that. These are also a 2.5 millimeter head. Next, hook up your steering linkage right here. Normally, I'll push my arm past it that way, We'll bring it back into place and then pull it back in like that while holding it where it belongs. So I'm going to kind of be in the way, but that's what I'm going to do. There, got it back in place. I'm going to line it up a little bit here with this to be sure so I don't knock it out when I'm trying to put it back in. And that is also a 2.5, and it's a screw, and the screw looks like that. Like so. Okay, at this point you got your chassis all back together and you're good to go. You're gonna need to put on your front and your rear bumper. I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. Now I did take this spur and pinion cover off because I wasn't sure what had happened, so I was just kind of looking to see if I could see anything. You guys probably did not take this off unless you were inspecting too, so I'm gonna go ahead and put that back on. But removing this was not required. So we're gonna put this back on real fast, and then after this, guys, I'm just going to put my bumpers back on. You're welcome to hang out. One of my bumper braces in the front is broken, so I'm actually waiting for it to come in. But I'm going to put what's left of the bumper back on so that I can go and play with it today. Then putting the tires back on, I know you guys got that. Alright guys, so I'm just going to put the bumpers back on this thing and then put the tires back on it. But now you know how to change your servo. Probably didn't go as smooth as I wanted it to, but hopefully it helps you guys out. So let's go put these bumpers back on this bad boy. You see that bumper brace is broken. The bumper's not in terrible shape. I have another bumper, but I don't have what I need to brace. The bumper's fine, I'll reuse that, but the brace is done with. So if you did take it off, you have obviously 2 screws there. I didn't have to because mine was broken. You're going to have 2 screws that go in right there. The bumper, it just kind of hooks on there like that, and it would stay if it wasn't broken. So I'm just going to put it in place. I'm going to try and get that in place and actually super glue that thing and see if it'll hold a little bit, at least so it doesn't fold up. You'd be surprised what super glue will do. It holds really well. I glued one of my arms one time and it never broke. It broke somewhere else. Like another arm broke before that one actually broke. I was pretty excited about that. Alright, so this back bumper right here, it's missing a screw there, so I'm not sure what size screw it is, so what I'm going to do is just take this one out so I can match it up. Alright, so it looks like about a 4x10, so I'll grab another one and pop it in that side. I got a couple of little boxes here of screws. Some are tapered, some are not, some are machine screws. What I did was went on Amazon and I ordered like a little hobby screw set, and it came in a little cheap box, and I just put them in boxes like that there. So I got a little bit of everything in there, so it comes in really handy. Because if you guys have ever lost a screw before, you're doing it outside or doing it in the garage and it hits the floor and it's gone. It's like, where did it go? It's a lot less stressful if you hear a screw hit the floor knowing, I got more. There. Okay, so now that's back together and legit. Alright, it's the same as the front. It just kind of hangs on there. The shock towers. And she's tweaked. Alright guys, that's it. So now that's how to swap your drive shaft out. It started out being what I thought was going to be a center diff, but you guys do remember towards the beginning of the video, or at the beginning, I said it sounded like it was diffing out, and that's exactly what was happening. Because whenever I was holding the wheels, when you put power to it, the rear wheels were, they couldn't go anywhere. So the diff was doing its job and sending power to the wheels with less traction, and there was no connection there, so it was diffing out. So that's exactly what it was. So I'm glad nothing was actually broke or destroyed in the center diff, because I really didn't feel like messing with it right now. But thank you to Hypro. Janet over there ordered the drive shaft for me. She had it like next day. It was the next day or maybe even the day after that. It was quick. I actually had ordered one too for myself from Traxxas the night before. I had it in the cart because I was ordering some other stuff and I forgot to take it out because she said, yeah, I'll get it for you. So I have 2, but oh well. I have 3 XMAXXs, and you know, I'm gonna need another one. So anyway, that's it, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you want to see next. I'm trying to shorten up the videos a little bit. The wide max kit on the orange max I did, I'm still editing it. I don't know how many hours in it. It's gonna be like a 4-part video, so I'm gonna start trying to shorten up as much as I can, but still show everything. I'm not gonna leave anything out, but part of the length is just that I'm explaining everything, and as I'm watching it, I'm like, okay, we know this, but I have to remember, I know this, a lot of other guys know this, but the new owner does not, and I have to keep that in mind, because I'm trying to cut stuff out that you guys need to hear. So I go back and I put it back in, and I tell myself, leave it in there, it's fine. If they don't want to, if they already know that, then the video is not for them anyway, because I'm targeting the new owners, you know. So that's enough, guys. Y'all have fun out there, have fun with your RCs, and God bless. I'm gonna get this thing cleaned up, put my tires on it, and I'm gonna go play.